this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're going for a ride and a chat. So I found out recently that someone I knew through a business that I've been going to for almost 20 years, or close to 20 years, and every time I go, I talk to this guy, just kind of chit chat, kind of that sort of thing, while he fulfills my order, and kind of just one of those things. But I thought it was really interesting. I recently found out that he changed jobs. So over the last couple of years, he has gotten new certifications, went back to class and that sort of thing, and did this part-time, after hours, that sort of thing. And he's worked really hard for it. And that's what I want you to really understand. Like, he's worked really hard for this. But when in our lives are we actually happy for someone else? And I think that's kind of the interesting part for some people, is that he is enjoying his new life and his new career and that sort of thing. And so many times people are actually jealous that you do well or that you've succeeded finally, but they don't always take into account everything that took you, that, you know, the journey you went on to get to where you're at now. And I think that's one of those, like, interesting, because that is something that I think most people just kind of see the outward thing. Like, he changed his job and he's making more money and he's enjoying what he's doing, and those are the outward things. But a lot of times people are not happy for us when we succeed in our life. And I will tell you, more often than not, usually that comes in with our family, our siblings, sometimes even our parents. You would think that they would be happy for us and excited and joyful because this happened to us or that happened to us. And a lot of times they just kind of take into account, like, what they see, but not necessarily the journey it took to get there. And I think that's a really interesting part, because you have a lot of jealousy for kind of really no reason. That jealousy makes other people bitter, makes other people, well, you get everything you want. Well, no, he worked really hard for it, or other people have worked really hard for what they've accomplished, and but there's a jealousy to it. And it's one of those, to me, it's almost like your energy is telling the other person, like, there's not enough success, and because you've had more than your fair share of success, there's not enough for me. Because that's really kind of the energy in it. And I think that's kind of interesting. Like, why would you not cheer someone on or root for them or kind of that sort of thing, when you could accomplish the same thing? Maybe you don't want the same thing, but you kind of like, oh wow, now they make X number of dollars a year instead of this, or they feel like they're uppity or whatever else. And really, that's more about your own jealousy than it is about the other person. If you had done the same things, or you had found something that you were passionate about and you went after it, you would want that person to cheer you on, but you're not cheering them on. And that can be the really lousy, really, oh my goodness, kind of weird thing for most people, is they want the, atta girl or atta boy pat on the back, or you're doing a great job, or whatever it is. But a lot of times what's happening is that they're not doing that. They're not doing that at all. They are kind of jealous or whatever it is that, you've succeeded where they haven't, or they feel like they're not going to because you succeeded. Almost like I said, like that energy of, if I succeed, they're not, like there's not enough energy left in the world for you to succeed. Only one of us can succeed, and because I've gotten it or that person's gotten it, you're not able to succeed. And I really think that's kind of a backwards way of thinking. But like I said, it happens so many times. And I see this, like I said, a lot in families. I see this a lot with other people that are, People are friends that we've known for a long period of time, and all of a sudden their energy shifts or change because we finally got what we wanted. We finally went for that job interview, or we finally went and took the class, and now we're getting something different. And a lot of people end up being very, very, very jealous of what's going on when it's not necessary, when it really, really, really isn't necessary to be jealous over something like that. They finally succeeded. They finally got there. And I think that's truly the interesting part for most people is, why aren't you cheering them on? If you would want it for you, why wouldn't you want to give it to someone else? That's the fun part of life, I think, is to be able to cheer other people on and be happy for the things that have happened to them, the things that are about to happen to them, the things that make them feel happy or special or succeed in some way. That's kind of the fun part of life. So I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.